So I would probably look at school bus riding differently. I thought it would be a great idea to do something where I'm able to chat with you guys and also do my makeup. And ignore that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I got this original idea from my girl. It's 𝒲𝒾𝓃𝓃𝓈, and I thought that I would incorporate it or do something a little different, but I would talk about places that I have been to that has or have had paranormal or weird, I guess you would say, urban legends. So with this tutorial, we'll be talking about that, and I'll be trying to do my brows at the same time, my makeup at the same time. The urban legend of the school bus. Now, with this urban legend about the school bus, this is based here in El Paso. It actually happened back in the late 1950s, which was almost 70 years ago. And with this story actually really freaked me out the very first time that I read about it, because I was new to El Paso. Inside the school bus area, you could see like small toy animals and things that the kids might have left behind. On a private property, a private location, so a lot of people don't go to this area. In the 1950s, a single man, he actually goes insane after the loss of his young daughter, and the way that she died was also in a tragic school bus accident. He finds the school bus that his daughter dies on in a junkyard. He goes, pay for it, refurbishes it to almost pretty much brand new status. Once he's like done refurbishing it, he realized that he was still not satisfied. He still was not happy. The man, he towed the bus late at night. He towed the bus back to his vacant property or vacant land located outside the city limits of El Paso. And if you've never been to El Paso, this is the desert, so everything is brown. So imagine just like this big giant bright yellow bus in the center of nothing. And he eventually moved the bus underground because he was so worried that someone may see this. So while he's rebuilding the bus, he decides to move it underground, which makes me wonder, like, I wonder if the neighbors might have saw it and just didn't want to say anything, or like, what did people think when they saw it at first before it was underground, you know? Absolutely insane. One day he drove to his daughter's old elementary school in El Paso, the site of 100 children laughing and playing. I think that it just like brought up all those bad memories that he had of him not being able to see his daughter laughing and playing. He wanted a little girl, so he looked to his right. In the mirror, he could see like this little girl walking towards his truck. He sees a little girl and she's walking up to the side of his truck, and he just thought, maybe like I could get away with this. Maybe I could like keep her and replace her for my missing daughter, since she died in the bus accident, right? The little girl that walked up to the side of his truck, exact replicant of his daughter. Blonde hair, blue eye. So the man opened the door, he grabbed the little girl, and then he sped away from the school area. Shortly after arriving to his cabin, he realized that this wasn't his daughter at all. Once he realized that this was not his daughter at all, he was worried that he would be in trouble. So he thought it would be a great idea to lock her into the underground bus. At this point, the one kid did not satisfy his feelings enough, so he decided to drive back to that school area and try it again. Kidnapped over a dozen little girls, storing them all in this underground bus that's located under his house. So the public decided that they wanted to take charge and get involved. They became upset and very mad that the school is not doing anything about it. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's stepping up about these missing little girls. Everyone thought that there will be no luck in finding their kids until one day a fire broke out. Now, in several reports, I do show that it was actually one of another little girls who escaped. She actually was the one to originally set fire. And then once she set fire, I guess she wasn't thinking about all the other little kids that might have been in there, but she set fire. And once she set fire, she left the property to go and get help. It was actually located in far east El Paso. Little girl broke free and set the fire. The rest of the little kids that were also inside were not able to get out in time, so they did not make it. The guy who was involved, he was actually never seen again. The house burnt to the ground, leaving a huge hole that led to the underground bus. They mentioned that when they go to visit, you can see like burnt remains of the wood. It's been reported that when you go visit, and of course they don't list the property, so you would have to probably contact like one of the haunted places, but when you go visit the property, you can hear like children laughing and kids playing. This is an urban legend, but there's been no one to like debunk the theory. Some of the comments under that post is said that they actually went to the property one time at night and you could hear something like crackling as if the house is being caught on fire. Someone posted the coordinates, the longitude and latitude coordinates to this location. Again, I don't know how true this story is, but I think it'll be something fun to do, like for paranormal activity or experiences. If you're in El Paso, be sure to check out that location. There's also a haunted restaurant that's in El Paso. The restaurant is called Monteleon's Restaurante. So the dead are here, honey, and they're living with us. What it is about the old guy on the side of the building holding a cigar, and he has like a stern face and he looks like very content with his cigar in his hand. It's an Italian restaurant located here in central El Paso, and the restaurant has been operating for over the past 18 years. However, the building has been around for 100 years. So at one time, it was, in one of the stories that I read, they mentioned that at one time it was listed as a spiritualist church, which I don't know what that means. Like, was it a spiritual church or not? In almost 2 decades that Monteleon has owned the property, he said that he has had countless experiences with spirits. When he went to close one of the front doors, or the front door, it looked like a charred or a very burnt hand, and forearm was coming at him from the other side of the door. So Monteleon actually closed the door. When he slammed the door and closed it, he was able to hear like pounding on the outside of the door. Another incident that he recalled involved one of the contractors who was like doing work on the building. Alright, so the worker was left alone to finish maintenance on the property, but when Monteleon came back to check on said contractor, actually found him across the street. He yelled across the street like, hey, yo, dude, what are you doing? The building's over here, your work's over here. Where are you going? The worker said, I will continue to work with you, but I don't want to be here alone. After this happened, a string of other encounters started to happen. The owner, Monteleone, he decided to hire a psychic by the name of Diana. Well, Diana would come and she would try to do like a medium reading to try to figure out what exactly is going on at this crazy ass restaurant. So there's 4 ghosts in this restaurant, and one of them is a negative spirit, and he goes by the name of Thomas. Now Thomas is probably the one that had the charred hand that tried to like come into the restaurant that one night, and I guess the other guardian spirits like kicked his ass out of the restaurant. They were just like fed up with his negative energy. This was the only one that actually had the negative spirit within the restaurant. The rest of them were pretty happy. One of the main experiences or references to Thomas was that he was in fact the one that would be throwing cans at other employees and customers. This is so, it's not, I mean, it's funny, but like not really. So just imagine that like you're sitting down having a nice restaurant or a nice Italian experience, and all of a sudden you see like cans and bottles being blown across the room. Nah, actually had one of the managers to cleanse the restaurant. Later thought that all of the spirits would be gone, but in fact it turns out that the other 3 spirits actually remained, and there's only Thomas who's missing. So Thomas, he got evicted. Apparently it opened a portal, according to Diana, and now there are other like entities, but they're all nice, they're all chill. Do a lippy. Check this out on what. Let's take this down. Ooh. Once in a while, Diana would actually go to the restaurant and she would open the portal and connect with them to help them with any personal issues, or if some are maybe stuck and here just across the other side. So every Thursday of the month, the restaurant hosts this, it's called Dining with the Dead, 3-hour event where you're able to have like food, fun, and you can meet not Thomas, but you can meet like paranormal seance. And to contact the restaurant or to get tickets, you would simply go to their website, and it's called Dining with the Dead for El Paso. And again, it's a 3-hour event, so that's a long time to be in a portal area where entities will be. On my lips, I'm gonna be using an El Paso Natives collection, Lexi, but she goes by Let's Do a Makeup. These are super cute. I think that 3 hours is a long time to be stuck with a ghost. And since it is a portal, like, I wonder, do they fear like if Thomas would come back? I wonder if they think like that. Could Thomas come back and make an appearance? Again, I mentioned 2 of the top stories that are located here in my city. I did not feel like putting on lashes today. Maybe I will in my next video. I don't know. If you like this type of stories, or if you're wanting to hear more on these stories, please be sure to hit that like and share button. Go ahead and comment what was your favorite story that was mentioned today. And if you want to hear more stories about other areas that I've been, yeah, just go ahead and like the video. And I'll be posting this, or trying to post this, every Sunday for you guys. But thank you guys for watching. Always be a light and encourage others. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. So I'm pretty sure the next time Bae takes me to a restaurant, I may do that as a prank. Let's just go to Monteleone's on the third Thursday of every month. Just to freak them out just a little bit. I'm gonna be that mom that's always ready to pick up my kids outside of the front of the school. Like, hurry up.
Turn on that motherfucking TV. Everyone turn off your lights. I bet you still motherfucking see me. Yeah, you know it's a light show. Below it